Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the mini MBA examination, which is in presentation format. And I hope you all can hear me. And as I earlier communicated with all of you, let me say it again, that we will be rating you on 4 key areas. Number 1, the quality of your PowerPoint presentation. Number 2, which is on 10 marks, the quality of the general content, how everything is going to sound, all of that. Number 3, the level of confidence in your presentation, the quality of your presentation skills, public speaking, enthusiasm, your tone, your voice, all of that, 10 marks. Because you need to talk like an executive. And of course, the core of the matter, we were looking at the practicality of the implementation plan. The mini MBA program is a practical program, means you learn and you do. We want to see changes in your business, changes in your career. And the most important thing we're looking at is, after this program, how will you carry on to implement the lessons you have learned for the next 4 months, 6 months, and of course, the next 1 year. And that is why the practicality of the implementation plan is 30 marks. So if you are just doing it to please the examination, I will know. But if you do it with the mindset of implementing after this, it will be detected. And of course, you will get the marks for that. Therefore, as per the list that I have here, we are starting right away with Mr. Javnyuy. Please go ahead. And remember, you have 5 minutes, 5 minutes to do your PowerPoint presentation when your time comes. Javnyuy, are you there? Please, if you have network issues, I will recommend you, this is something very important. So one of the things to do is prepare yourself, if possible, if is somebody else getting me clearly, apart from people in network?
Can I?
Yes, Javnyuy, I can see your screen. Hold on.
Can I go on, Doctor?
Hold on, I can see your screen.
Okay.
You can see your screen, just hold on. Okay. All right. Yes, Javnyuy, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Doctor. Good evening to all the executives, and good evening to the management of CMBDA. I am Executive Javnyuy, presenting the 2 key lessons I've learned for each of these modules, and I'll begin with idea validation. So in this course and this module, one of the key lessons I've learned is that you can only get relevant insight for a new business idea, product, or service by being able to go to the field, collect and analyze data, not on assumptions and guesswork. And the second lesson I've learned in this module on business idea validation is that you can have a very nice business idea and a product and produce a fantastic product. But if this product does not fit the budget of the target market, your business is most likely to fail. And also in marketing, sales and public relations, the first lesson I learned, which is going to influence my business, is that in business, to double or triple your income, it doesn't start with what you sell. It starts with who you sell to. taking intentional steps through data collection and analysis to identify the ideal customer is a major determinant role. So I'll just go further to present how I'll implement these lessons. So as you can see from the table, that to implement the idea, the business idea validation model in my company, which is a clinic, Bond Solidarity Clinic, located at my 5 Bamenda, the first action plan I'll make is that each and every idea we bring up to the table concerning the growth of the clinic will be subject to scrutiny, and this scrutiny will be based on how I will go to the field. I have to prepare questionnaires. All the nurses, all the doctors will have to go to the field, we have to collect data before we implement any idea that is brought up. And then we always pull back to conduct a thorough root cause analysis of problems that we encounter in our day-to-day activities. Secondly, we are going to constitute a comprehensive price list for services offered to our patients. And when we constitute this price list, it's going to make our patients to have a clue of what they are going to spend in the hospital. So this is pricing. Therefore means we have the idea of a hospital already, and to make our clients or our patients not to know their budget before coming, we have to constitute this price list. We paste everywhere around the hospital surroundings. So this will ease our marketing, because before you come to the hospital, you already know our prices, and that will be how we will not find difficulties to explain to customers that this is our price. So that is how we make our product to fit in the budget of the patients. Secondly, marketing, sales, and promotion, where we organize sensitization programs on local radio stations for free health consultation and free screening. From these free consultations and screening programs, our clinic will be able to identify its target market. Also, we'll have to design an evaluation sheet for doctors to have a one-to-one conversation with patients to rate their level of satisfaction with the clinic services. And when we do this, it will enable the clinic each and every day to be able to build an agile marketing system which responds daily to the needs of our patients, and to know what they feel is not good about the hospital or the clinic and what is good about the clinic. Okay, customer acquisition strategy. The first lesson I learned from this is that for a business to remain competitive and attractive, it must build a strategy and action that attract and convert customers on a daily basis. Secondly, one interesting way to acquire customers is via content marketing. And now, how will I implement this? The action plan I'm putting in place is that provision of excellent patient care and medical services to our target patients. Treat every patient like they are your first patient. This is our policy, which we are going to implement. Secondly, we are going to create a Facebook page, which is already ongoing, and a website, which is already ongoing, with a permanent administrator. We are also going to design flyers, which will be shared every day on WhatsApp status of all the staffs of the hospital and all the stakeholders. Create content which shares patients' experience, raise awareness of the health risks around people. By so doing, we're going to attract people, our customers, and people will know more about our location, our services, and so on. Also, to make our hospital one of its kind, or to stand out among many, we are going to make provision for patient feeding free of charge. We know that in Bamenda, we have days that are not accessible. We have days that people have to stay in the house. Now, to make patients not to feel bad, we have to make sure that we provide food for them free of charge. So this is one of our strategies which will acquire more customers. I will give them excellent patient care. And also on the module, accessing emerging markets and marketing strategy, I learned two important lessons. The first is that to remain sustainable in business, you need to master the art of searching for new markets. Secondly, one of the best ways to use in accessing emerging markets is by leveraging professional networks. I will start with leveraging professional networks. Being a student of the mini MBA has exposed me to many professionals and many networking potentials, in which in the next 2 to 3 months, I intend to join professional associations related to my field of accounting and health, and also contacting and having personal relationship with all the students in the March 2022 batch of the mini MBA executives is what will help me to leverage this professional network and also to market my hospital services, our clinic services. Also, I will identify and list primary, secondary, and higher learning institutions around the location of the clinic, which are proximate to the clinic. And I will also write official memos that is relating now our clinic and the community. I will write official memos to these institutions proposing free screenings and consultations to student population. This action will help the clinic to identify its niche market from the sicknesses diagnosed with the highest tally. Also, on entrepreneurial leadership.
Thank you, Executive
What
Javnyuy.
separates an entrepreneur from an entrepreneurial leader is the fact that entrepreneurial. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. All right, thank you. I have used, that was part of the plan, to use the first executive to rate, to see the quality of work done and to decide if we should maintain 5 minutes or not. We have moved the time to 7 minutes as per the experience from Yannick. So Yannick has done a presentation for 7 minutes, and trust me, Yannick has raised the bar. I actually loved the implementation plan. It sounds very practical. I am very impressed with that. Great work, Yannick. Great work. Okay, let us move forward to the next executive. Please stop sharing your screen. And Executive Glory Spine, your time is now. Is Glory there? We call you, you are not there. If you don't answer, we mark you absent. We see how to sort that later. All right, let us proceed to the next executive on the list. Let us go to Executive Solange. Is Executive Solange there?
I'm present.
All right.
I'm going to share my screen.
Start sharing your screen. Your time starts now.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, executives. Mini MBA program. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Mini MBA, and of course, it's March 22. Javnyuy Solange. 2 key lessons learned from some of the selected moves. One from validation. The 2 lessons learned was 1. You have a nice product. You don't have, the people cannot buy your product, means that you will not able to sell. So the living standard of the people have to be put in place before producing any product. So I have to ask if the product I'm going to produce can solve the problem that people are having. The product must be a product to have, or a product nice to have. How am I going to implement this in my company. First, I'm going to go out and acquire the living standard of the people before going to produce my product that I'm going to produce. Secondly, I am going to inquire, interview, go out and make that where the importance of people, whether they can be able to buy the product, or is it the product I'm going to solve? Is it if the product I'm producing is going to solve the problem of the people? Third was market and public relations. Lesson learned from it was distribution system. Before you want to produce, before you want to sell or market your product, you should be able to know whether the distributor should be able to put the distribution plan in place. Secondly, having a positive public relations to stakeholders, what they need to know, need to hear, and not what they want to hear. To also have friends of radios, newspaper house, television, bloggers. How am I going to implement this in my company? I have to design a distribution system first before going to market my product and sell my product. I have to first of all ask the destination of, for example, if I have a customer that wants to buy from Limbe, I will do what? I will ask the address, I will ask where the person is, the agency that I have to use to send the product. So I will ask, after that, I'll use Okada to go and distribute and to go and send the product. And then snap the product, send it to the person that I have to send. And then the next month I have to remind my customer that go and take this product, and I will ask if the product has reached the person in good hands and follow the customer up. Secondly, I would get a current relationship with correct people like that are working in media, newspaper, stuff, because I've never had that idea of even having a friend anywhere that is working that way. So now I have to start building friends that are in televisions and everywhere. Okay. The next is assessing emerging market. First lesson I learned from it was first one was value and needs. Great value flyers, packaging contents, particular in groups and according to the problem of the what are the problem is solving, what are the product is solving my problem, pardon. Secondly, the presence offer value to the people in different potential markets so that customers can choose their price. That means offering different products. We can have a product 1,000, 2,000, different offers. Now, how am I going to implement that in my company? First, I will create a lead generation market. For example, women that are losing weight, I will target my market on that. So I will start giving them free training on how to lose weight without even going to the gym. I have to give them the product for free without even going into the gym. So the next one was, how am I going to market to sell? So we'll start doing what? We'll start putting the product in where in quantity that people can buy easily. Like for example, in our company, we have products that are 30 tablets. Now we're still making 10 tablets so that each and everybody can buy it and afford it to everybody. The next one is entrepreneurial leadership. And what lessons did I learn there? Entrepreneurial leadership must be somebody that has purpose in life. That if you go, that is going to lead people in a good way. Secondly, entrepreneur does not wait and see. He implements. He sees problems and then try to create solution to the problem. How am I going to implement this in my company? First, international, I will know who I am. I am going to know my purpose. I am also going to start my company by understanding the business fit to the company. Secondly, I must create and start a value, helping people. That means give a value to people. I should have a value to give to people so that I should be able to maintain my leadership, read books, and do it, accept rejections, and also have customer acquisition, designing flyers. Lesson I learned from this is designing flyers and creating contents to accompany the flyers and target market, reach the newspaper and blogs future. Second, reach out to friends so that they should share their contents in their WhatsApp and Facebook group. So how am I going to implement this in my company? I want
women Thank you.
that want to lose weight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Executive Solange. Thank you. Great work. Great work. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are going somewhere. We are going somewhere. Very powerful. All right. Do we have, please stop sharing your screen. Do we have Executive Karin, Namanga Karin, in the house? Is Karin there? Probably absent. Let me go to my examination sheets. All right. Let us go to Executive Tikum Hillary. You're up.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening, dear Executive.
Good evening.
Okay. I'm Tikum, Executive Tikum Hillary, all the way from Yaoundé, the CEO of Team 1. And this is what I have learned from every module. The 2 lessons I've learned from every module. The first one is, first of all, I consider myself as a business because I render services. So obviously I am a business. And the first one, which is ID validation. What is the name of your business and what I offer? I mean, the name of my service is, I term it Tikum. Tik means electrician. Construction site, whether residential, commercial, industrial, transport system, and power distribution networks. Now, what is my business? I mean, what problem is my business organization solving? Which stands for what? Design, develop, install, and maintain electrical systems and equipment. This is one of the problems that my economy or my society is facing, especially those that have identified the people that are doing construction work, proprietors that have land and want to do construction. This is the very first problem that they are facing. So I have identified for you marketing and public relations Number 1 is something is what you do for people to know that you exist. Now, the very first offline where target market can be located. Of course, this is what I have done because an app that I recently discovered, and they have strategically structured or doing there. And the second one is design a flyer with content and share on your. I have planned to do from Monday the 16th, which is this month. And this flyer is going to bear the name of my service and the things and the offers or what we call the content, and then I will share it on my Facebook page, and I will share it to my WhatsApp groups. And one is the third module is public relations. The first lesson: how do I relate to my community as a service I rendered? I have planned to next week, which is Monday the 24th, in my community to give or to check the policy, how I can advise and offer some voluntary services. And the second, professional, and you are not on social media, so I am already present on Facebook, and I'm doing some work equally. Whatever I do, I make sure that I do send it to my Facebook page, and the fourth module, which is customer acquisition strategy, which creation. As Monday the 14th, I'm going to design and print my service card, and this service card is going to be my service, to put a delivery system on it. The second one is value packaging. Of course, to my niche market, like designing of electrical system to landowners who have embarked on residential construction. Central region is a major market that have access to my area, and in this module I've learned growth. And how do I know that this is an emerging market? The area discovered has growth in Bebe, which is Bankolo Yaoundé 2, that the rate of investment there. The next one is infrastructural development. Of course, this village is every day there's a lot of construction. It is highly going on the construction of houses. The next module is entrepreneurial relation, entrepreneurial leadership. Yeah, I have never known what is who I am and where I'm coming from, but I am an entrepreneur, an entrepreneurial enthusiast with bearing the solution ninja qualities. Yeah, bearing the solution ninja quality, and I equally came to discover my vision where I want to take Sigmint, which is electrical. Which I want to take Sigmint electricians. Sorry, I mean I want to make Sigmint electricians a top leading.
Executive Hillary, you muted yourself.
In the energy
Okay. He's having network challenges, of course. That is understandable. And of course, we anticipated that from our end, and we have a way that will be rating you guys. And that's why it's important to, your previous activities in class and all of that. We're going to know how to balance that, comparing other stuffs and so on. All right. That was good work so far by Executive Hillary. According to my sheet, we move on to our Executive Darius. Is Darius there?
Present, sir.
Excellent. Go ahead. Hear you loud and clear.
Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening to
Good evening.
Okay, most of my case studies are for my natural juice business and some in my business. Okay, for the lesson learned for idea validation is most often people want to start a business and they start by writing a budget or a business plan. And I realized that that's not a good method to go by. It's important for you to go through the validation testing process for your business to be able to know if the service you're offering is what customers actually, the problem you're trying to solve is what customers actually have, and if they are willing to pay for the solution you're bringing to them. So for my action plan, I have to make sure that all my business ideas go through the validation testing process. I should clearly define what the problem my business is solving. I should be able to verify my potential customers, the problem they have or the problem I assume they have, and know for sure that I will be solving their problem. Moving on to marketing and public relations, I learned that a good marketing system should be agile. The customers are changing, the times are changing, the marketing systems we used maybe in the 19th century are not probably the same marketing systems we're going to use in 2022. So your ability to change your marketing strategies is going to determine the impact you're going to make. So I also learned that your marketing system should be able to predict your desired results. You should be able to attract your ideal clients, and you should be able to speak the language of your customers. A good public relation framework is used with how stakeholders have to see your business, that the impression everyone out there, the public, has about your business. So if you allow negativity or poor reports to have about your business, but if you're able to send out good reports, that's what the population is going to have about your business. And you talked about corporate communications, media relations, and events management. That's your ability to relate to the media, how you can send memos and all that. For my action plan for marketing and sales, I planned on creating flyers and content. That's on the flyers I'm going to have what my food business is offering, the kind of juice and the kind of fruit salads I do. I'm reaching out to friends already and asking them to share these flyers on their WhatsApp status. That's making it visible to social media. And I'm keen to feedbacks and comments. This is because most often to know what the customers actually want, or their own ideas, their own proposition. But most people don't take out time to actually get this feedback. So I plan on getting feedback and improving on what the customers actually want. And my target sales for the month of May is 400 bottles. So I already started this in the month of March. So through this method, I plan on selling at least 400 bottles for the month of May. For public relations, for everyone I want to partner with, I'm going to either send them a mail or a memo telling them, maybe asking them if you could partner. There are some events that are coming up that I sell fruit juices there. So I plan on writing them to ask, and also trying to create connections with people working in radio stations or TV stations. Okay, for accessing emerging markets, I learned that an emerging market could be national and it could be international. National can be within the country, international could be maybe across regions or continents. And to access an emerging market is not just out of excitement, but you should be able to do some feasibility study. That you should be able to do some background study of the market you want to access, the history of the market, for example, where the market has been, where the market is going to, the economic policies of the market. It's very important. So it's literally sending out a team to go do feasibility study of where you want to emerge to. And I took an example of the company where I work, aviation, like opening airports in Cameroon, in some regions in Cameroon, like Kribi, for example, Gaundere, Tiko. They have to go do research to gather necessary data. There's a high demand for air traveling services in this area since none is available. The company can leverage on the availability of vast and unexploited land space. For towns like Kribi, it's a business site. It's a touristic site where people go there a lot. So I think there are people who want to save time by using air transport. So the company could actually leverage on all of this to create a means of transportation. And this could be done within a time frame of 3 to 6 years. For entrepreneurial leadership, one of the most exciting modules, Dr. taught us about the habits of an entrepreneur and says that 2 points that really got me were I should be able to know myself and have a vision and be able to express it. Yes, as an entrepreneur, I should be able to talk about my vision. I should be able to articulate it even at the middle of the night. If they ask me like, what is my vision? I should be able to explain it. The skill of proactivity and self-development is very important for an entrepreneurial leader. That you should be able to anticipate what may and what may not happen in the future and take action and continually improving myself to stay above competitors. So how I plan on getting these skills, these habits is clearly outlining my purpose and what's meaningful to me, specify what my business does and how it's going to serve my stakeholders, being committed to my employees and asking them how I could help them become better, closely monitor changes in the environment, like in the market, reading books, taking short online courses. All of these are going to enhance my skills and improve me as a better entrepreneur. And this is something that is not done within a time frame. It's a continuous process. So I cannot really say I'll do it for the month of May or June. It's a continuous process. For customer acquisition, I learned that I should be able to identify my customers and build my niche market. My business should be visible. In order to acquire customers, people have to know that you exist to be able to buy from you. So how I can get this for my food business, identify my ideal clients, that's food lovers, people who are on diet, maybe people who are watching their weight and all that. So I have to focus on my niche market. For now, I'm just within Douala, so I'm focusing in Douala, using traditional advertising. I'm doing one-on-one advert. I'm sharing out flyers, and also through referrals. So my friends who know that I do juice business, they can refer me to some of their friends, and they get to me. Measuring performance and acquisition costs of each channel, like when I do marketing, I should be able to know that how many people got to know through me through social media, how many people got to know me through radio advert or through one-on-one referrals, and I should be able to validate which channel works best for me. Moving on to how to conquer irrelevance. To be relevant is just beyond mere skills and competence.
Thank you for
to be able to leverage on the power of knowledge.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Well done. All right. Then Executive Kumaharan, are you there? Is Executive Kumaharan present? If not, let us move to Executive Nono Valerie. Yeah, up. Is Executive Valerie there?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Please kindly share your screen.
Yes, that's
Your time starts now.
The problem of network. I have a problem of network. Good evening, doctor. Good evening, executives. I'm Nono Valerie. I'm the founder and manager of Daddy Pomo establishment. I deal in provision shop, drinking bar, and domestic gas. Implement the various lessons learned from the various modules in my business. The very first lesson I learned from the module is when I have a business idea that I wish to implement, I must always make sure I have a target market. As this business idea of domestic gas home delivery with the lesson I've learned, which has to do with having a target market, I will make sure I know the principal beneficiary of my service. My target market are restaurant owners and women. And I also did this using questionnaires. The second lesson I learned from the above module is what exactly are my primary expenses in the idea I want to implement. Before joining the Minimum MBA program, I had this idea of opening another branch of domestic gas delivery at the town of Pinja. I was doing an imaginary calculation of expenses in my head. With what I have learned from the lesson, I decided to go into writing by putting down on a piece of paper my primary expenses. I have a problem of my screen. I have a problem network. As you people can see on my screen, it is only after doing this paperwork, that's writing down my primary expenses, that I realized I still need about 1,500,000 in order to implement the idea. The next module is market and public relation. Market and public relation. The very first lesson I learned from this module is community relation. I'm going to implement this lesson in my business by activating the presence of my business in the community in which we operate, and also get my business involved in community activities to make the people I have in my community get a good perception about my business. Firstly, I'm going to do this by donating 3 benches each to all the primary and secondary schools in the community in which I operate. And this is going to be done before the end of this academic year, that's 2021-2022. Also, I'm going to organize a mega football competition in the name of my business every third term and Xmas holidays for those who are below the age of 15. During this period, I'm going to be doing advertisement concerning my product. The second lesson is building a system to nurture existing customers. I'm going to implement this by making sure that I always say thank you to my customers each time they visit my shop. I will also give bonuses and gifts to make them happy. In addition, I'm going to create a database for my customers where I can actually get information that I'm going to use to send them birthday wishes, and also send them beautiful and nice messages during very special festive periods like the Xmas periods, the New Year, and the Ramadan. The next module is assessing emerging markets. Assessing emerging market here, I actually learned about assessing a new and emerging market. That's one of the lessons I learned. I'm going to do this by making sure that I do not only assume the fact that my products are needed in a neighboring village called Etanwan, but I'm going to travel over to the said village and collect information and data. It is from that will me to know if my product is needed in the said village and who are those who actually need the product. The second lesson is master key operation, distribution, and how to move money. I'm going to implement this by distributing my product from the town of Loom to a town 1 with the use of a motorbike because the road is not passable to vehicles. And this bike belongs to my business, that's my enterprise. As far as moving money is concerned, when goods are going to be sold over in the village of a town, the money will be sent through mobile money or orange money. The next module is entrepreneurial leadership. The first lesson I learned is listen carefully. I'm going to practice this by making sure that we give an open ear to everybody, especially employees and customers. By the end of this month, we are going to put in place a suggestion and drop their suggestions and ideas concerning the business. I'm going to make sure I open suggestion box on a daily basis to see what have actually been dropped inside by our customers. The next lesson learned is entrepreneurial leaders are also able to identify opportunities. I'm going to practice this a very beautiful lesson by making sure that I use the opportunity I've noticed in an emerging market, which is a town 1, which is a village not very far from the town of Loom. From the research I've conducted, I realized that there is a great opportunity for my product in a town 1 because companies do no longer travel there to supply drinks. So many people don't see this opportunity, and again, the fear risks, which I'm going to take. The next module is customer acquisition strategy. The first lesson I learned is value creation. I'm going to practice this by running 2 bars rather than a single bar that I'm running right now. I'm going to name them bar A and bar B. In bar A, bar A will open to those who are of age below 35 years. Bar A will be open to any type of for dressing code. In the said bar, the volume of music played will be very high and will mostly play but hot latest urban songs meant for the youth. In bar B, yes, and it will be open to very responsible people, a certain class and profession. In bar B, I'm going to play soft, classic, and also old blues music. In this bar, I'm going to bring artists and comedians who will come and perform live.
Thank you,
This
Valerie.
is to give value to the bar service I provide.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want to celebrate you.
I have a problem of network. My screen was able to show.
Yes, I understand. I want to celebrate you for adapting to still present so well, even though network was against you, but you have lived up to the expectation. A good executive should be able to adapt. And if you prepare that work, you should be able to present it even without the PowerPoint presentation. And of course, you have done justice to that. Please stop sharing your screen and let us welcome, is Executive Aneta Noela there? Executive Aneta Noela, are you there? Ananda Bolo Aneta Noela. Okay, if she's not there, the next person on the list is Executive Giselle. Is Giselle there?
Yes.
Yes. Your time starts.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, fellow executives. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So much for this opportunity. On my final exams for mini MBA, I'm MBA. And the lessons I learned so far on the indicated modules, the first lesson is business idea validation, which this has helped me to know which product to put in the market, like to know exactly which product my customers need, and not just to put what I feel that this will be highly demanded in the market. It has equally given in my detailed plan. And my second lesson learned is marketing and public relations, which I learned the systems that enable me to transform my prospect to potential buyers, like good rapport, giving good customer experience, and more. I have also learned how to build systems that help me to nurture existing customers, like selling other products of my niche, and doing giveaways, celebrating my customers during their birthdays, and also more. And then the third one, I have customer acquisition strategy. As a startup, I have learned to gear my products towards a particular niche and not just generalizing it, like just saying that I'll present my products to people of this particular area. No, but I have a particular class of people for which I know that will really need my products, and I gear my adverts and everything towards them. I've also learned the various ways to optimize my search engine as an entrepreneur. Following that, I have accessing emerging markets. And on accessing emerging market, I've learned the importance of mastering key operations like distribution, movement of money in my niche, that's between my teams and my customers, and the economic policies involved in my industry. And I've equally learned not to depend on assumptions, but about my product and the market, but to go out into the market and search that this is what my market really needs, and this is the product that I will present to them. Going forward, I also on entrepreneurial leadership. This actually, like one executive said, was my best model because it really catapulted me. In fact, it's so redefined me. I remain proactive at my present work, which I am also implementing this at my present job site and in my startup. I remain proactive in my present job and in my startup, and then I give a key listening ear to everyone talking to me, which is really helping me. And the next, I have building competent teams. I have learned the importance of team presence, and I'm also a reflective observer now. And next, conquering irrelevance as an executive. I have equally learned the importance of mastering my field of expertise, and I am an actionist. I don't only hear, what I hear, I put to practice. And under building a top-notch personal brand, I've learned to remain loyal and consistent, nurturing my top 20 customers in order for them to yield me my 80%, which I will explain this in my action plan or my implementation on how I'm implementing the lessons which I've learned. On idea validation, going through model 2, I did research on my product to make sure my customers really need my product. As I think with the feedback with the feedback that I got from the customers, we invested in the most demanding product and the most profitable one. The actions we took and we are still implementing. My team and I printed catalogs, which we share on our social media platforms daily. We are do the posting daily and review weekly, which the progress is so encouraging. And also the second lesson is idea validation also reduce us the cost as we escape the money we would have spent on launching the products which might not have been the most demanding ones. For example, we're planning on going into the market with some power banks, which after doing power banks voltage, which after doing the research, we decided that no, they have MAH instead of 10,000 because the price difference is not much, but someone going for 20,000 MAH will save and will also have a long-lasting power bank after charge. We do post our products daily via our business where we share our products to promote and our sale, and we discuss our ideas weekly to remain agile in our industry as times are changing. And on marketing and public relations, the implementation of this lesson, working with systems to transform our prospect to potential customers at my workplace and in my startup, the action to customer service experience. That's I give my customers the best experience to keep them coming. And I consistently remain like what this modulo has helped me. I have remained the top seller in my present job. From January, I have been the ATV of 200 AEG plus every month with a UPT of invited like to browse. I make at least 3,000 per customer that I assist, and I have at least three to four items per transaction. So I've remained the top seller, and I equally learn on building systems to nurture existing customers and to acquire new ones. Here I seek to observe. Why I seek to upsell. That's when my customers come, I try to propose them other products also, and I also cross-sale. I also try to introduce products which can be used simultaneously with the one, and I do celebrate my customers in my present niche. And I have increased my section sales by 12% since I started studying.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Course. And
Thank you.
It's customer.
Well done. Well done, Giselle. Well done. Thank you for that amazing presentation. Please stop sharing your screen and let us call on Executive Nsọ Fokwa. Please tell us. Yes, your time starts now. You're muted. Mr. Elvis, you're muted. Elvis, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can get you people well, and I'm not muted, sir. Hello?
Yes, you were muted. Go ahead. You shared your screen and you stop sharing.
Hello?
Yes, hello, we can hear you.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
You're muted again. It shows you're muted, so we cannot hear you. Okay.
Sir, can you people get me?
Yes, we can get you now. Go ahead, we can get you. So when you want to share, you disable your audio.
on?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
We can get you.
I learned under idea validation was that whatever thing I do, I need to focus on solving farmers' pain problems. And the second lesson that that stood out for me was that for me to validate any ideas, I need to get to the customers. And for my case, I need to focus so much on churches, flyers, and radio announcements because I'm dealing mostly with farmers. And under marketing and public relationships, the first stuff that I got there was I need to be consistent with actions with respect to with respect to marketing, that is being on WhatsApp status, being on my WhatsApp status and on Facebook. And the second lesson that I learned there was that I had to create relationships with top-notch personalities in my field. Assessing emerging markets, lesson number one was that I need to focus on an emerging niche market, which in my case was a very minority group of people who are abroad willing to invest back at home, especially in short-term crops. So I need to focus on that market and see how I can make it big. And the second lesson was for me to better that that it is better for me to stay small and make huge profits than for me to go big and make smaller profits. Under entrepreneurial leadership, lesson number one was that I need to carefully listen to my clients, to my employees, and to my managers so that I can better understand them and put things in order. And the second lesson there for me was never to quit learning. Customer acquisition strategy, lesson number one was that Elvis, don't be everywhere, focus on a niche market. And lesson number two was that people don't buy from me because they love me, but they buy from me because of the good feelings that I give of their problems. And how to conquer irrelevance there, what stood out for me was number one, acquire more mastery in my field of agronomy. And lesson number two was to network, collaborate, and build partnership with top-notch professionals in my field. On personal branding for executives, lesson number one was to focus on the 80-20 rule. And 20% of my customers generate 80% of my profits. That was so great for me in that model. And the lesson number two was to be consistent, to constantly survey my clients, get feedbacks, and see how I can better understand their pain points and solve them as fast as possible and get things on track. Building competent teams was that I need to be actively committed to happy farms. I need to go to the shop, stay there for some time to create policies that things can run in happy farms. Part B of this it's an action plan. The first action plan was to reduce the cost of production of my top 20 farmers in 2022. And you can see the different tasks there, which was to visit these farmers, to survey challenges, make seminars, and make sure that I go there with my team. The dates are there. I need to go there with some drinks. I need to go with some chewable. 25 farmers and get at least 15 attendees during the seminars. Lesson number flyer sharing, and concerning the task, I need to talk with the church leaders. I need to conceptualize the flyers with my team, and I need to equally visit these churches and paste flyers and chat and talk to the congregation. And under marketing and public relationships, the first one was marketing Clean Farm Flash, which is one of my products, 5-star, Azostar, and Colam, which are our insecticides and fungicides. And there I need to design short videos. I need to post them on my WhatsApp status. I need to update my status and talking about how to measure, evaluate this. I need to count the number of people who did observe my status for a specific time and see how many people are actually building up there. And still on the second part was to visit my career coach, Mr. Mbapo Emmanuel. And for me to do that, according to the task, I need to get in contact with some of his friends and ask them what he likes. I need to buy a very big good. I need to strategize, go there with my family, visit his family, talk with him. And in order for me to evaluate what I'm doing there, I have to meet him. I'll position myself in the field for now and the future. And under accessing emerging markets, I need to create 5 business plans on high value crops for investment opportunities for guys who are abroad. And these are focused on short-term crops that can generate a lot of money. And for me to do that, I need to work with some specific people like Mr. Chodenis, who is equally an expert in pepper farming. And still, lesson number 2 was to create an improved delivery system for pesticides to Bamenda. And there I have to focus on Salt Boys agency, going to the manager, chatting with the front desk, and seeing out how my teams can create policies that can meet all those stuffs. And under entrepreneurial leadership, I need to organize bi-monthly meetings to listen to my employees' challenges. And there, my manager has to week of every month to discuss on challenges and see how we can put things in order. Still under there, I have to learn land mapping and irrigation analysis. That is under entrepreneurial leadership. And so I started by buying a GPS for 200,000 francs. Got it. I installed QGIS on my laptop, and that is how I'm going to learn about topography and a whole lot of new stuffs in my field with Mr. Hence, to develop a marketing and sales distribution strategy for miscellaneous tomatoes farmers. And there I need to go with them, book list, make sure that I reach them one-on-one, and later on I find out their problems and see how I can get in contact with and the next one is to solve problems of getting products in time and even during the weekends in Marché Standard. That's a very top market in my area, but we don't work during the working hours. But if I make sure that I chat with tricycles, top distributors in that area, of course, I'm going to develop that strategy and make sure that things ride on smoothly. On how to conquer irrelevance was to read one technical agronomic book, pay 2 weeks. And there I need to talk with my career mentor, get this book in track, and make sure that I follow these stuffs day in, day out. Make sure that I get the books, which might cost me up to 25,000 francs, and make sure that I go back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Attend end of year meetings with Engineers Without Borders. This is a bit
executive focus. Thank you. Well done. Well done. Great work.
Okay, sir.
Good. Please stop sharing your screen so that Pastor B can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Doctor. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Good evening, executives. Let me share my screen and then I start immediately. So okay. All right, let me go ahead. Thank you. So as far as my PowerPoint is concerned, I am working with 2 options. First of all, there is an idea which I want to bring into the market to create a legal consultancy, which I'm still to bring into the market. So some of my action plans had to do with that, and some of my action plans had to do with my current workplace, the ones that really apply practically to where I'm working now. So I did my action plan on the 2. So Elvis is still sharing, but let me go very quickly. Now, looking at the courses, I started out by, first of all, aligning what I learned in all the courses. And then later on, I answered the action plan. Okay, so business idea validation. I learned how it's important to answer the question.
Yes, please, you can share your screen now while we post your time. Can you share your screen now? And Mr. Stop sharing.
Hello? Okay, okay. All right, thank you. Okay. Let me share it. Okay, thank you. All right, that's my screen. So based on the modules that I listed above, talking about the lessons I learned from each module, starting with business idea validation. This course was very important to me because I've never really had to do this, and it was really my first time of learning this. So I got to understand how to answer the question of who you are solving the problem for. I learned that it's important for you to describe who your target client is, give a brief description, be able to say exactly what kind of person is going to buy your product. And also I learned how to verify if your ideal customer, and I also understood that you have to get opinions of a number of people to be able to get that. learned about lead generation marketing system. That's how to create a step-by-step system to generate leads and to build a strategy, step-by-step strategy of how clients are going to get what you're offering. Whether I learned how to leverage on professional networks and collaborate. That's one of the things that I've not really been using that much. And I started out already, for example, with the mini MBA platform, getting to know a few people and also creating contacts with them. So leveraging also network marketing modules. That was one thing I learned very new, and I'm going to be applying into my business project. Employees and helping them grow. And this one particularly, I used it more for my current workplace because I work with a lot of people under me. So I learned how to help them grow, because your business can only flourish according to the level of how they flourish in their execution. I also learned about the fact that entrepreneurial leaders, they implement new ideas. So they are willing to take risks if there is a 1% chance that it will succeed. That to me was very important. And I'm putting that a lot into my practical work in my workplace right now. Customer acquisition strategy. I learned about starting your business with a niche, packaging your value to a particular market. It helps you to build a strong brand leadership. I also learned how to make use of search engine optimization, that you get to position yourself and associate your name to key search words. That's one thing. I am not very active on social media. And so that's one of the things I learned and I'm trying to put into practice, although it's not easy. That was one of the things that caught me. Mastery having to do with going beyond mere competence and you bring in something new, something extra. Striving to develop credibility in your area to prove that I'm someone who can be trusted, I have a base and I can produce results. And then personal branding for executives. I learned how a strong brand will attract potential clients. And building a brand means that you identify the things that are unique to you and you talk about them. I've never really been so much into branding, but this particular course taught me so much, which I need. I think that my Office of Operational Opportunities, you can receive invitations based on your brand. Building competent teams, having team members that are reflective observers. That was one of the things I learned the most. That means encouraging them not only to look at things, but to also bring solutions to what they see. Doing something with what they see or hear. And creating a culture of collaboration among team members. That's something that I realize is very important for my work as a pastor. I work with a lot of people, and when there's no collaboration, there's a lot of difficulty. So now implementing these lessons in when it comes to the business idea validation for my legal consultancy, which I'm still to start out. So I gave myself a target that by the 17th of this month, I want to be able to look at a niche in the market, because I hadn't really thought about creating a niche. So I told myself, I want to describe exactly the kind of client I want to work with. Let me identify the age who exactly I want to reach out to. I was having an idea of doing it generally to people who are into business, but I learned that I need to create a niche around it. And also I gave myself an action plan to also find out if my ideal customers actually have the problem I think they have. So presently I went out interviewing a few business people, and my target is to interview 200 prospects by the 23rd people to make me know whether really, if I launch this legal consultancy, I will have clients or not. When it comes to marketing and public relations, and I also looked at whether the target market understand my service. I needed to explain to a lot of people and see if they capture what I'm trying to bring into the market, describing to them what I want to do and talking to them about what my business is about. I want to if they understand and even see the need for it. Then marketing and public relations action plan. One, I want to design a flyer that I will share on social media and I'll share in crowded places, because I'm still
Thank you.
try to get people to buy into my idea. So I design a flyer, I get to share it on social media. Okay. Entrepreneurial Leadership action plan.
Thank you.
Is my time up?
Your time is up.
Oh, my sharing. Take my time.
No, we gave you time for that. We gave you. All
oh,
right.
really?
Great.
You know, I lost some time trying to share my screen. Thank you. Thank you.
Is Executive Bill Eric there? I don't think I see him in class. Executive Asiru, go ahead. Executive Asiru Wineshi, go ahead. Asiru, unmute yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I get.
Yes, go ahead.
See me now? Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Our key will the customer is a priority, and that's our motto. I will constantly communicate with customers before and after the purchase of our products, so that they drop their review, so that we can access the system, the purchase system. We will routinely monitor customers' behavior so as to bring up new products that will meet their needs and satisfaction. We will create local points where our products will be available for easy pickup and signing. A deal with stores where they will get some free and letting us sell their products in their shops. That's to create our channels where we will easily make our products available for people to pick up in case they want to purchase the product after our adverts. With the marketing and public relations assessing emerging markets, there were 2 lessons learned: corporate communication and community relation. That is getting involved in community issues like water project, cleanup campaigns, or joining other organizations to help the community any way we can. In order to enter an emerging market, you need to know the history and the inside of the market and where you can access the market and where you can target. If you don't know it's a weakness in the system, you can't repair it. So that's what attracted me, or what the lesson I learned from that. Leveraging on professional networks and collaborations. So as a business or as a person, you have to look into networking with people and collaborating with them so how you can help in future activities. So implementing those lessons learned, we set up a team of 2 to do the research on the history, insight, and potential of this new target market and bring us weekly details. They will be to submit. They will require to submit a weekly report of their findings and ready to respond to potential questions from the members. They'll be charged with at the end of the month to bring us the marketing research of the new product, which we will launch and test the said market. After a month, we will review our progress. we try to get into farmers association which deal with the product we intend to work on, and get cheaper deals so it can help us in the production system. We will research and attend events which talk about food production, food security, and agribusiness as a whole. Entrepreneurial leadership, 2 lessons stood out. One, open to new ideas from anyone. That is when you're in a group, you should be dynamic in your leadership. You should welcome any new ideas. So that is very important as a leader. Develop employees and help them grow. In every team, there must be people who have shortcomings. So in order to make the team grow and be successful, people have to upskill themselves and help the team as a whole. So implementation, we will hold monthly meetings with employees on how we can make the workplace better. Sorry, that employee, sorry. As well, we will put a suggestion box in the office where each member will voice out their positive criticism and how we can solve this complaint. They will also be open weekly to check the content and help meeting for deliberations. That's when, if you go to the office to check, you check the boxes, and if there's a complaint from anybody in the office about a particular activity or a way of management, we'll hold a meeting and then discuss that over and see how we can ameliorate things at the office. We'll routinely check on employees and finding out ways to help them so that they can function better. For example, an employee can have a day within a month where you can take off, have something to do for your own personal life or something apart from the weekend. Or we can try to show some consent to an employee when they face personal challenges in life. For example, maybe an employee will give birth and we would have to bring up some packages to help the employee so they can feel like a family. Customer acquisition, 2 points that stood out. Intentionally targeting the niche market, and here we are focused on a particular class, a group of people where we design a particular product to meet their needs and preferences. And that is what stood out for me because it's so important in order to grow the business. Leveraging on adverts and SEO and SEO, which is search engine optimization. So far, we have to dedicate that's the lesson plan, sorry. Implementation. Focus will be given on the niche market. So the more research get their complaints and preferences, our team of 2 will do an analysis of this niche purpose and propose to us and product which we will use to meet the customer's demand. We intend to increase our digital presence. Thus, our members will be tasked with posting on their WhatsApp, Facebook, and etc. Any member who brings a new customer will as well get a stipend from the company to motivate them to work harder. A member will be tasked to handle the digital marketing by posting it multiple times a day on social media or writing articles using bloggers and granting them interviews as a way to keep our internet presence. Leveraging on search engine optimization, we know as that works, and we will try to make it our duty to be on most blogs and websites by writing articles and so on. Conquering relevance in business, strive on credibility. It is important for every individual to be credible, so people build trust in you and see that you're a reliable person. This lesson was quite outstanding. Network and collaboration and building partnership. It's not only enough for you to get somebody's contact or somebody's information, or connect with somebody.
Thank you.
And that was very important to us.
Thank you, Executive Asiro. Thank you.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you. Please kindly stop sharing your screen and let us invite Executive Martina on the beat. Martina, are you there? Asiru, please stop sharing your screen. Martina, are you there?
Yes, Doc, I'm there. Good evening. Good evening, fellow executives.
Good evening.
Going through the examination, I had, looking at the lesson learned so far, I took a case study regarding my small startup of Tina Black's exchange that deals with the exchange of cryptocurrency. And the first lesson learned as far as idea validation is concerned is you don't need to like just draw a business plan where you have it in mind in order to, but you have to validate it by looking for the problem and the willingness of the customer to pay for their problems before you can implement the idea or even draw the plan. And in order to validate an idea, you don't have to assume answers to questions. You have to ask questions and if possible, maybe go to the field to carry out research using your target customers or the niche that you are targeting in order to get your answers to validate the idea. And then looking at marketing and public relations, which includes corporate communication, media relation, corporate communication, relation, and events management. They are very important aspects of business for it portrays how a public view or relates with your business. So in order to implement any business as far as public relation is, you have to build your relationship with the public, your environment, so that you'll be able to portray a positive, you should be able to portray a positive view in the minds of those around you, so they can easily like recommend you as far as your business is concerned. And then about marketing, what I learned about marketing is that in marketing, you have to be agile or dynamic in such a way that you can be at any point. Since customers are dynamic in their needs, you have to work based on what they really want in mind at a particular point in time. And then looking at assessing emerging markets, the two key lessons I learned here is that an emerging market is a population or it's when like a nation is experiencing growth in terms of population or other activity. And due to this growth, you notice a need in that community and you now do your research in order to penetrate the market. When penetrating the market, you should not just be trying to like penetrate the market. You should also look at the effective way you can build growth and also the way your resources can easily reach or move out of the market, so that you will not be blocked in saving your customers at their points of need. And looking at entrepreneurial leadership, the lesson I learned here is as an entrepreneur leader, you should possess the following habits, which is make a complete change on how your company operates. You should know yourself. You should have a vision and develop employees and help them grow. You can develop employees by asking them the various ways in which you can help them grow. Is it by offering a training to them or by increasing some aspects of their activities that they can get involved in order to help you as a company or also help themselves at their individual levels. Also, as an entrepreneurial leader, you should be able to possess the following traits, which is manage risks instead of avoiding risks. And then you should be able to identify opportunities. That means you should be proactive and not reactive. Looking at customer acquisition strategy, one of the key lessons I learned here is that in order to acquire customer, your content count, the way you, their content. You have to deploy different areas such as search engine automation, content marketing, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, traditional advertising, trade shows. And also, in order to achieve a customer acquisition model, the best way to know which channels to offer is to use the diverse channels available. And then from there, you know which one best suits your business or your startup based on the questions that you ask your customers or the prospect when they approach you, like ask them how they got to know about you in order to get the medium which really worked and produce more results. And you should be able to calculate the relative cost and the customer acquisition cost so as to know if you'll be profitable if you engage in such medium, sorry. And then conquering irrelevance. In order to conquer irrelevance, one of the lessons I learned is I have to master my act, and to be able to master my field of concentration, which is cryptocurrency. I plan on reading books, watching YouTube video in relation to that. And also I should be able to make excellence my lifestyle network. Like presently, I belong to different WhatsApp groups with different traders, which is like trying to network with them, learn from them each day in order to upskill myself as far as cryptocurrency is concerned. Looking at personal branding for executive, one of the lessons that I learned, the two main lessons I learned as far as this is concerned is, in order to build a top-notch personal brand, you should be conscious on the way you go about your activities, both at your personal life level and business level. People are watching, and whatever you do will be used to define you, and as such affects you positively or negatively. I also learned that personal branding, the way you portray yourself, also creates visibility. It positions you as an authority and help you make new friends. So it is very important to create a positive and unique description of you in your clients' or friends' minds.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great work. All right, thank you, Hilary, for updating us that Executive Bacha has been sick and he is still in the hospital. I had no idea. Thank you for that update. Executive Daniel. Executive Daniel, okay, from my sheets, you have not been submitting even assignments at all. So you have done nothing so far. I don't know if you're in class anyway. Okay, let's go to the next person. And the sheet. Pardon me, I'm recording marks at the same time and doing all of this. Is Executive Alphonse in class? Okay, thank you for updating about that. Executive Alphonse. Okay, not in class. Because I think I'm seeing some people in class, but their names are not on my list. So whatever is happening between you in class and the people on my team need to be sorted out. All right, let's go to Executive Fumbo Aneta. Are you there? Executive Fumbo Aneta.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening, fellow executive.
Go ahead.
I'm there. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Good evening, fellow executive. I'm Executive Fombo Anita, and I'll go straight to the examination. Okay, in all what I learned in this mini MBA, my target market for my startup business was and for the cryptocurrency product I offer. And my target market was all crypto lovers and those interested to know more about cryptocurrency. Okay, based on the question one, on idea validation, what I learned so far is asking questions and seeking answers as far as an entrepreneur before I start up my business, and to focus on how to acquire, retain, and upsell my customers. On marketing and public relations, I learned on agility and to build systems to nurture existing customers. Assessing emerging markets, I learned on to leverage professional data collection in emerging markets. Entrepreneurial leadership, I learned to always remain an entrepreneurial leader and to build relationships. On customer acquisition strategy, I learned on value captioning and value monetization. On how to conquer irrelevance, I learned to leverage my knowledge and also to leverage my expertise. And on personal branding for executive, I learned on engaging in meaningful conversation and to be consistent in upgrading my skills. And on building competent teams, I learned to build an actively present team and also to be a customer-led team. On the question two, the lesson I learned, and I'll just be talking on the action plan on idea validation, on asking question and seeking answer, I had to give out questionnaires, I had to get testimonials and observation and interviews. And my goal was to ensure that my product have a ready market. And on the second part, to focus on how to acquire, retain, and upsell my customers. I had to stay in touch with all my customers. I led customers on promotion, rewards, and product updates. I also had to ensure that I always check on customers' needs, build trust and friendliness, and create more value for customers. And my goal for the first part was to ensure that part, my goal was to go above customer service. And I had to do this continuously and consistently. Always to instill in my staff and them to grow and build systems to nurture existing customers. That's go out and build relationship with everyone I need to ensure that this business work. My goal was to retain my existing and new customers, and I took it as a lifetime. Then assessing emerging markets, I had to leverage professional networkers and collaboration. What I did was I had to revive all relationships. Then I also joined some association within this mini MBA program, and I had to strengthen some existing relationships. And then I built new networks and I had to showcase my authority and expertise, that I had to help some other people that I needed their help in return. And I had to stop assumption in the emerging markets. So I had to collect data, analyze if I could push through with my product, and also to always find new data. The goal was to ensure that my idea turns into money making. And for the first part, I had
Do we lose Anita?
The goal was to ensure that I keep manifesting a certain percentage of each of the
Okay, it seems Anita is having network issues. She will jump back in when the time comes. Please let us proceed with Executive Gertrude. Is Gertrude there? You can't hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, I can hear you, Doctor.
Okay. Is Executive Gertrude there? I don't think I see her in class. Let us proceed to Executive Effective Mokeba Frida. Is Executive Effective there? I see you in class.
Hello, Doc, I'm there.
Awesome. Go ahead. We hear
Yes,
you now.
Doc, yes, Doc. I'm there.
Yes, we can get
Good
you.
evening,
Go ahead.
Executive. Good evening, everybody. Let me just share my screen, please. Good evening, Executive. My name is Executive Efeti Mokeba. The product I'm working on is a customer service training center. I'm going to be combining this with my hotel work. That's the Safia Hotel work as a deputy manager of the hotel. The first lesson I got on business idea validation is before starting a business, it's important for us to have answers to some questions. The answers in your questions will enable you know the market you're getting into, and also how you're going to sell your product to your target market. The second lesson I got from this module 1 and module 2 is that as the product design enabled a business to be able to target your customers and their needs sustainably. Module 3 on marketing, sales, and public relations. The first lesson I got was that to put in place an agile marketing and sales plan, a company strategy team must be able to brainstorm and research on the different questions that it has to answer with respect to its business idea. The second lesson I got was that to maintain growing customer base, organizations must have strategies to keep existing customers and to also develop strategies that will help them have other potential customers. In this, my business model is very strategic for me, especially in the tourism and hospitality business, which is a people-centered business. So customer service is key for us. The fourth model is the idea to money-making a business. The first lesson I got is that I can build a niche market, and also to build a niche market, I can start small and grow big, and it enables me to face competition, less competition, build brand leadership, and use little resources and make excellent delivery to our different ideal customers. The second lesson I got was that I can package this training, my training models, that's a fertile consulting firm, into particular markets, thereby increasing my chances of acquiring more customers in my business. So I intend to put my business, my training models into different packages like buy and sell arms, motorbike riders, salon owners, who I think are most of the people who are faced with meeting customer service. The fit model, that's accessing emerging markets and marketing strategy. The first lesson I got from there is that for us to succeed in markets, we must grow. An entrepreneur as a business executive must be able to have other ways to enter the market. It can enter the market through a nation, through a region, or through a continent. The second lesson I got was that for a company to succeed in an emerging market, it must have a business model or a framework that is used, that's the entire culture of the company, and also used to build the business. With entrepreneurial leadership, that's module 6, the first lesson I got was that as an entrepreneurial leader, I got the difference between what's a leader, an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurial leader. That's an entrepreneurial leader identifies problems, determines solutions, and ensure that these solutions are being implemented. The second lesson I got was that entrepreneur does not give up. He does not wait on opportunities, he creates opportunities. An entrepreneurial leader never stops learning, and also entrepreneurial leader has the ability to have things done. With module 7, that's building high performance teams in business, the first lesson I got was the collaborative culture, that in any organization, you must be able to be structured and be able to collaborate with your teams and your colleagues to be able to meet our task objectives. The second lesson I got from that's a reflective observer. That's as a deputy manager, one of my roles is to be able to ensure that my team members meet their objectives every day. And so I go every day on the field to be able to see what they are doing. And while observing on the field, I should be able to take note of problems and provide solutions to these problems. Also, module 8, that's conquering irrelevance as an executive. The first lesson I got was that I should be able to leverage on the power of knowledge, expertise, and inspiration. So my skills, my capacity should be able to be used to provide, to teach my other team members the expertise that I've learned during the mini MBA program, and also to use my daily inspirations to be able to serve them better. And also the second lesson I got from this model was that I must put in more hours in my work, and definitely this is one of the things I'm doing with my job, ensuring that everybody is home. The module 9, that's building top-notch brand as an executive. The first lesson I got was that to build a top-notch brand, it enables me to position myself in the market and be able to have a customer service, and to be able to monetize my brand and explore new ideas in the market. The last lesson I got, that's the second lesson I got, was that I should be able to make use of my 20% customers, and the 20% customers, if I focus on them and concentrate on them, I'm building a 80% of my other customers, and I'll be able to serve as representative of my brand to other people who have not yet used the brand. The second question was to my action plan. That's the action plan. The first action plan for module 2 is that I'll go to the field and I'll carry out market research. And these questions will permit me the business validation will permit me to answer certain questions. I'll be able to provide answers and also to validate our data. The second action that I'm going to do, these results are going to be used as evidence to be able to know if my business idea is validated or not, and also you'll be able to help me to be able to serve my customers sustainably. Module 3 will be able to, that's marketing and sales, marketing, sales, and public relations. The first thing that I'm going to do as my action plan, I'll be able to share tasks, that's to be able to set up a team, share tasks based on competence, and also appoint a secretary to take down notes and to schedule meetings that will be able to help us to carry on our findings and be able to come up with our research results. The second action that I'll be able to take care of is to be able to carry out our price reduction strategies. That's to maintain a growing customer base, carry out reduction strategies, and also organize press dinners, and also have an open door day where I'm going to showcase the companies that my products, what I'm offering as a value package, and what I'm offering as a service with Safia.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, that was,
thank you, sir.
That was good. That was good. All right, people. For those who have not heard their names, you have not failed exams. You have just been moved to tomorrow as we round up. So far so good. Let me see. I was just trying to check the performances in general so far. The total marks sound 60, and it's very impressive, very impressive. So far so good. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. Great work so far, everybody. Great work so far. I'm not going to give comments, anything. I'm not going to give any comments so that people should not go and prepare and come for better presentation tomorrow. I am not doing that. So no, I was warning somebody in the group, don't correct anybody. This has to be fair play. So no comment at all about this. I'll give final comments tomorrow as we go for the second class of the second set of people who did that. All right, everybody, great work so far. At least those who have presented already are going to sleep better. That's the only advantage they have over those who have not presented. They're going to sleep better, and of course, waiting for the overall marks and all of that. All right, people, have a great night. See you tomorrow as we round up with this. And of course, not that there's examination, yes, but this is not, one of your last modules talks about teaching you on how to work on your CV and get a better look as a result of, getting this new knowledge, new certification, and all of that. There's some last minute things that are important just for your marketplace actions and strategy. All right, people, thank you so much. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, same time. Please, even those who have presented, you need to be present. Others were present for you. You need to be present. If you are absent, I always reduce marks. So if I see you are absent without permission, write permission, I reduce your marks. You need to be there and cheer for everybody. And of course, for the ground announcement of the performance of the whole class. All right, people, have a great night ahead and see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Let's do this.